Good afternoon, everyone. This is KIT Iizuka on April 24th, fifth period for English 7C. This is week number 3, and let's take a look at what we have to do after we look a little bit at what we actually did last week. Okay, last week we started to do our fluency exercises in a little bit more earnest, and I gave you the vocabulary quiz. That vocabulary quiz was based on the vocabulary we did in the first week from Quizlet material units 1 and 2. That was vocabulary quiz number 1. We're going to do more Quizlet today, and that also will be a vocabulary quiz. Now, first week, we also had a listening quiz. Now, I should warn you, the listening quiz or the vocabulary quiz, any of my quizzes, okay, so this quiz or any quiz, you have 3 chances to take that quiz, and Moodle will automatically remember your best score. But be careful. If the quiz is closed, so for example, this quiz, the listening quiz, closed on April 22nd, so that was Tuesday. You can't take it anymore. It's too late. So you can't tell me, oh, I forgot. Oh, Mr. Cruz, I only took it 2 times. Too bad. You have only as much time as the quiz is closed. If it's a reflection that you did, yeah, you can submit that late. But there's going to be a penalty because I want you to do your quizzes on time. I want you to do your reflections on time. So make sure that you do this before the deadline, before the quiz is closed, before the reflection deadline. Okay? So if you haven't done reflection number 2 yet, okay, you can still submit it, but there will be a penalty. So don't do yourself any damage by getting a lot of penalties because you're always late for a lot of your stuff. And I noticed that a lot of people were late to actually hand this in. There were a lot of people who were late, and there were a couple of people, I have to be honest with you, I think maybe 1, maybe 2 people used ChatGPT to write that reflection. Now, I'm not sure, I don't know, but the best way for me to make sure about it is I want to see your natural writing. I want to see the kind of writing you can do if you don't use a dictionary, if there's no internet. How well can you write English? So today, we have this in-class writing that I want to do. I'll tell you a little bit more about that, but we're going to do a little bit of writing in class today. And you don't have to worry too much about it. It'll be a very simple thing to write about. I just want to see what level your English writing is. Also, as I said before, you have a listening quiz 2. Listen to the audio and do your best to answer the questions. I'm sorry, by the way, about last week. It seems that there was a problem with the server, and for a little while you couldn't hear the listening quiz. But I can check right now. Preview quiz. See what that looks like. You should be able to. Okay. Error. I better check this again, but I'll check it right after this class so you won't have any problems. And you do have quite a bit of time before that is done. Yeah, that is not due until May 4th, so I'll fix that tonight, and you'll be able to take it right after that. Sorry about that. I want you to do something called wow, that's slow. Okay. I want you to do something called a walking video. So we're going to be looking at that, but a walking video, I have a sample of that right here. And we're going to take a look at that a little bit later, look at that together, and then we'll practice how to make a walking video together. After that, there's a reflection, as usual. We did some shadow talking last week, and this is a video of a Japanese guy, young man, probably about your age, and he did shadow talking for 90 days straight, which is actually very hard to do. It's very hard to actually do 90 days straight. Usually most people can only do about, I don't know, 3 or 4 times a week, which is already good, but it's not every day. He did it every day for 90 days straight. So I want you to watch this video, and then here's the question. What do you think of shadow talking? Very simple. Okay. When you write these reflections, remember, you don't need to use any special vocabulary. You don't need any difficult grammar. Your English is fine. Just write the way you naturally would for about 10 minutes to answer that question. This is a chance to get you to practice writing. You don't have to try to make me think that you're a good writer. You're probably not a good writer. If you're a good writer, you wouldn't be in this class. So just use your natural English. Okay? Also, last week I wanted to show you, this is what we did last week if you didn't come. Okay? Let me take that back to the 17th. So we started with some very basic grammar. We focused on you being able to say these things very quickly and doing it a lot. Not doing something difficult, but doing something very easy a lot. For example, just do and does, and then the negation with not, and then more on with the negation with the contraction, so not do not, but don't, doesn't, and then again with be verb, then finally full sentences. I'm Japanese, you're Japanese, he's not Chinese, and then we ended up at the question. And the question itself is already very difficult, but I make it more difficult because of the way that I ask you to do these questions in order. I do you do, does he. But that still doesn't tell you how hard it really is when you have to do more with other verbs. Did I do those other verbs? Yeah. So I am, are you are, is he. Then regular verbs. I have it, do you have it? All of these things actually look easy, but to say them very quickly is very hard. So we're going to continue practicing with that. If you have any questions, remember, you can always contact me at my email, which is right at the very top, right there, jdmcruz@gmail.com. Feel free to contact me for any reason, or you can always talk to me here in class. If there's no other questions, let's have a good class, everyone.